If you have the money, are you allowed to spend it as you wish? Well, this sounds like a stupid question. When you post anything on the public domain, people will have opinions, both good and bad. And today I want to talk about not being dense when it comes to certain contexts. Here we have Caleb Hammer, and in his recent post, like very recent post, he decided he didn't want to fear flying. So he took a 30-minute flight to San Antonio with a therapist by his side. With everything being said, contextually speaking, is this out of the norm? Is this out of the grain for most people? Absolutely. I can't even afford a steak dinner at a nice restaurant, let alone a freaking 30-minute flight to San Antonio. But with that being said, does this detract from the entire point of the message? Absolutely not. All it is, the entire post is about taking control of your fear and taking actions. His actions, because he has the ability and the money to do this, is to take a private flight. Does the average person have the ability? Absolutely not. But he has, again, the resources. Why shouldn't he use it? And if you're offended by this, that is more you projecting whatever insecurities that you have or feelings regarding money and privilege. I'm not saying there is no inequality. I'm not saying everything is fair. But this is one of the few times where someone is doing something personal and using their own assets, their own finances to fund this. It doesn't put anyone at a disadvantage. It doesn't hurt anyone other than those that are seeing this post. And while at the end of the day, this is just a glorified ad, this does put into question how we are projecting ourselves on others' posts. And I'm gonna die on this hill, and this is what I wrote. You can pause and read this or go on Instagram to see my entire chain of this, but to summarize, when it comes to appropriateness of what is necessary for an individual, for all intents and purposes, for Caleb, a private jet was the best way, in his opinion, to address it, given that he also had the ability to do it. There is absolutely no reason, in this case, to impose that ability to an average person, because an average person cannot and will not be able to do this. But at the end of the day, the average person can still take actions within their means to better their life, to take action to get away from fear. I am not a doctor or a therapist, but the core concept of any kind of therapy or any kind of mental health is to assist the person into making active personal choices to better their life. And they have to do it within their own means and boundaries. So at the end of the day, regardless if the topic is money, ability, opportunity, whatever you stumble upon, use it to the best of your ability to make yourself at an advantage and to live your best life regardless of what other people say or project.